say. And this interface we're looking at is still under review. It's going to improve, but it does demonstrate the basic process. You will have a choice to choose. Well, you'll be able to choose one of the portfolios that you've configured. Now, there can be site-wide portfolios that maybe there's an official organisation portfolio system that all students have to use. But we can also have plugins for Facebook, MySpace, and all kinds of internet hard drives. So students can keep their stuff in their own area, and they can configure those things in their own profile. And it's only to them, and they will see their own portfolio spaces there. So once you choose a portfolio system that you want to send this, in my case it was a forum post to, the next step is some information. Now, this will depend on the plugin. Some plugins won't even have this step, it will just send it now. On BoxNet, we're able to store things into folders, we're able to share that data with other people and so on, so there'll be more options. Some systems are going to have things like requiring metadata, and they're going to say, you know, here are 20 fields that you need to fill in the Dublin core metadata set or something, and all that metadata gets sent with your forum post to the other system. Each plugin will be different, but in this case I'm just going to pick a folder, so next, and confirm, and it's sent. So the forum post was sent to box.net, and if you want to see it, I can click. We can either return back to where we came from, or we can go and look at our portfolio system. I click on my link to continue. It will take us to, in this case, box.net, which is a public web service system. I don't even know where it is in the world, but it's somewhere. And the new file that I just added is right here, and I can click on it. I don't think I can view it actually, can I? Oh yeah, here we go. So I'm opening it. And so there's my post. And my post was converted into a very basic HTML document, but it's enough that, you know, that could be quite a lot of text. You could open that in a word processor at some later date, or, you know, combine it. So that was an example of a single forum post, but we can export things at all different levels. So this is a discussion that I started, and it might have lots and lots of replies. At the very top is a new button, another save button, and that's for saving the entire discussion. So you can save the whole discussion on one HTML page. Or if I'm looking at some media that has different parts inside it, so some images. Whoops, sorry. I want to go back to that post that I had some images in. So here's the post, and there's an attached image which is very large, and next to it is a little green link. These little green links are exactly the same thing as the other ones. We're still working on this interface, but the idea is to make it very easy to choose just that image. And now I'm sending just the image off to BoxNet, and here I go, put in my stuff folder, hit next. And so now that image is being sent off to BoxNet as well. Now you don't have to wait for it. These things are all queued in the background. So if it was a movie or a large file, it would happen in the background over a period of time. This is important for the case where you might have a very large site and maybe you've got 1,000 students all trying to export their stuff to MySpace. You would probably break the connection or break your server or their server or something. And so all those things will be queued up and they will be sent one at a time in the background. And so you just have to wait for a while and it'll eventually appear there. If there are errors, then you get sent an instant message. Moodle will actually now send you automatic instant messages to tell you about things like this. So there's my file sitting on BoxNet. So that's the basics of the two halves, importing in material into Moodle and exporting material. There's only one more thing I want to say about the different formats of this. If you are looking at something that's a little more complicated, it doesn't make a lot of sense to export, for example, the course page as a HTML page or something simple like that. Really, you want to export this course page as a course. Right? So one of the steps coming up will be that the save button on this page, on the course page, will actually back up the whole course and into a zip file and send that whole backup of the course over. Or we can have formats like IMS Learning Design, or any other format that we can think of. This whole system is built with plugins, and it's very nice now for developers to be able to create plugins for different formats, for different file systems and so on. So these are the things we're still working on, those kinds of details, but that's where it's going. A couple of other new features here I should show you is this one, which is already in Moodle 2, which is about activity completion. We now complete activities, mark them as complete. It can be automatically determined, so the teacher can say this assignment is complete when students have a passing grade. It was graded, but that's complete. Or maybe it's complete as soon as they upload an assignment, and we don't need to have a grade, but they've completed it as soon as they've submitted it. So each module will define different criteria for when it is complete. And one of the settings is that you can have simply a manual tick box. So you can click here and you say, I've finished that. So at the very simplest level, it's just as a way for students to note down for themselves that something's finished, and they can keep track of what they still need to do. And this feature was developed at Open University by Sam Marshall, and they've been using it there, or parts of this they've been using at Open University for a while. So this is finally getting into the main Moodle versions for everybody. Another little feature that's been changed is the new messaging. This interface is still being finished, but it's now possible to take control over all the messages that come out of Moodle, all the emails that got sent before. So before we had things like forum emails and various modules like assignments would send emails at different times. And as well, there was instant messages from other people. You now have control. You can say, for example, when sending me forum posts, well, if I'm logged in, I would just like them to come up on a pop-up window. Don't send them to me on email, just send them to me in a pop-up window. So next time I move to a page, up comes the forum message straight away. But if I'm logged off, then I would like you to send it via email. Or you can send it to a Jabber instant messaging system. And again, these are all plugins, so whatever delivery mechanisms we want to add in the future we can. Maybe it's SMS. I'm going to send a message to your mobile phone. You can redirect certain kinds of messages to certain places. And I think that's going to be very interesting. And we've been able to now have a lot more messaging from Moodle telling people about things. Such as, like I said before, if there's a problem exporting something, then the user gets told. So that's one new little feature. Some of the other projects that are happening at the moment, we're looking very